Corrupt judge finds Karoline Leavitt, then realizes he just made a fatal mistake. The grand marble courtroom of the New Hampshire Superior Court buzzed with anticipation. The case had gripped the nation. A young, fiery politician, Karoline Leavitt, versus the entrenched forces of corruption. Sitting at the bench was Judge William Hargrove, a man whose reputation was as polished as it was tainted. For decades, whispers of his corruption had circulated: bribes, backroom deals, political favors. But no one had dared challenge him. Until now. Karoline Leavitt stood tall at the defendant's table, her hands folded in front of her. She was accused of disrupting public order during a campaign rally where she had called out high-ranking officials, including Judge Hargrove himself. The charges were absurd, but she knew what this was really about: silencing her. Hargrove smirked from the bench, tapping his gavel lazily. "Ms. Leavitt, you stand accused of defaming court officials, inciting unlawful protests, and interfering with judicial proceedings. After reviewing the evidence, I have decided to issue the maximum penalty, a fine of $5 million and a permanent ban from holding public office in the state of New Hampshire." Gasps filled the courtroom. Even the seasoned reporters were stunned. A $5 million fine? A political ban? This was more than punishment, it was an execution. Karoline's attorney, Michael Trent, jumped to his feet. "Your Honor, this is a blatant abuse of power. There is no legal precedent for such a ruling." Hargrove's gavel slammed down. "Sit down, counselor, or you'll be in contempt." Karoline, however, didn't flinch. She met Hargrove's gaze, an amused smile playing on her lips. "That's quite a bold move, Your Honor," she said. "I hope you're prepared for what comes next." The room fell silent. Hargrove's smirk wavered. "What comes next," he sneered, "is that you will pay your fine, leave politics, and fade into obscurity." Karoline chuckled softly. "Oh, I don't think so." The setup. Across the room, a man in a crisp gray suit shifted slightly, adjusting his glasses. He was seated in the audience, just another observer in a sea of onlookers. But he wasn't just anybody. His name was Agent Daniel Foster, FBI Organized Crime Division. And today, he wasn't just watching. He was waiting. The second Hargrove banged his gavel, Foster sent a discreet text. "It's time. Execute the warrant." Within minutes, the courthouse's side doors burst open. A squad of FBI agents and U.S. Marshals flooded in, weapons drawn. "William Hargrove, by order of the United States Department of Justice, you are under arrest for bribery, racketeering, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy to commit fraud," announced Agent Foster, stepping forward. The color drained from Hargrove's face. "This is insane. I'm a sitting judge. You can't." Foster held up a thick file. "We have years' worth of wiretaps, financial records, and testimony. Offshore accounts, laundered money, evidence of political payoffs. You thought you were untouchable, but you just made your fatal mistake. You made this personal. You went after the wrong woman." The betrayal. Hargrove's mouth opened and closed, his hands trembling. He turned to the side, looking for support from his longtime political allies in the courtroom. But they were gone. One by one, the high-profile figures who had backed him, the senators, the prosecutors, the business moguls, had quietly slipped out of the room the moment the FBI arrived. Except for one man. Senator Alan Whitmore, a longtime Hargrove ally, stood in the back, arms crossed. He gave the judge a slow, pitiful shake of the head before turning and walking away. No, you can't do this to me," Hargrove stammered. "We had a deal. We had a deal." Foster nodded. "And that deal ended the second you became a liability." Hargrove turned back to Karoline, eyes wild with desperation. "This is your doing," he spat. "You set me up." Karoline tilted her head. "No, Judge. You set yourself up. I just gave you the rope to hang yourself with." The twist. As Hargrove was cuffed and led toward the exit, he suddenly stopped struggling. A wicked smile spread across his face. "You think this ends with me?" he hissed. "I'm just one piece of the puzzle. You have no idea who you've crossed." Foster stepped closer. "Who's pulling the strings, Hargrove?" The judge let out a low chuckle. "You'll find out soon enough." Then, just as he was being escorted out, his phone, still in his pocket, began to ring. One of the agents pulled it out and checked the caller ID. The room went dead silent. It was an unknown number, except Foster recognized the country code. Russia. The aftermath. Karoline watched as the judge was hauled away, her mind racing. She had won this battle, but something told her this war was just beginning. She turned to her attorney. "Michael," she said quietly, "I need to know who else was involved. Get me everything." He nodded. Already on it. As reporters swarmed her, flashing cameras and shouting questions, she took a deep breath and faced them. "This is just the beginning," she said firmly. "The corruption in our system runs deep, but today proves one thing: no one is above the law." The next morning, headlines across the country screamed the same thing. Fall of a judge. FBI arrests William Hargrove in shocking bribery scandal. But deep within a hidden office in Washington, a shadowy figure watched the news with narrowed eyes. He reached for his phone, dialing a secure number. "She's a problem," he said coldly. "Handle it." A pause. Then, a voice on the other end responded. "Understood. To be continued."